I thought it was already recording.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying to get better about hitting the record button at the beginning so we can, kind of meet before and catch up with each other a little bit. So for those of you on YouTube, when I post this recording, my name is Terza Ekholm. This is open office hour every Fridays from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time ish, because sometimes we go over when it gets really interesting. So welcome to my community. It's also Ask Me About AI, and I try to answer people's questions plus do a little mini demo. And today it's all about, well, somewhat about AI agents. And I'm going to preface that a little bit because I ran into some snags while I was starting to get this demo set up, and some things went well and some things did not go so well. In the meantime, I was also developing some GPTs for an author editing project that I've been working on in the background. So lots of new things happening. I'm eager to, I won't cover them in this demo or in this session, but I have been working on tools that will help authors go from draft to published. And we'll go talk more about that probably in a future session. So do you guys mind if I share a lot more of the behind the scenes, so some of the trials and tribulations and
And I have a question first.
yes.
Who went and created GPTs after last week?
I did.
Awesome.
Agents and GPTs.
Excellent.
Jerry, yeah, there you are. All right. And what do they do?
They're working with Go High Level so I can automate my marketing.
Nice.
Very
And
good.
does anybody know, is anybody an expert or have any expertise on Facebook ads?
Oh. No. Nope.
I did a course years ago, but I can't remember a darn thing about it.
Okay, all right. Just asking. I've got a GPT for, I've got a GPT for Go High Level, a GPT for Facebook ads, and a GPT for the interface, because even when you have an agent, you still need something, an interface between the agent and the resources on the web. So like for Zapier or Make, we were talking about that last week. That's one way to do it. The Go High Level has CRM specific interfaces that can be used. So I found one of those that is specific to connecting Go High Level to ChatGPT, and it's free for 2 weeks. So I'm still in the free period, and I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to figure out, if I need to keep that, or if I can just, since I'm going to be using Zapier for other things, I'm trying to figure out if I can migrate the functionality to Zapier, or if I need to keep that agent or that interface to allow my agent to talk to Go High Level. So if anybody is working on something similar, I'd be happy to share my notes with you. Helen, are you doing anything along those lines?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have
All right.
I have all of my bots loaded as team members in Go High Level. I just have to figure out how to connect the two.
So
Oh,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So as a realtor, I'm subscribing to so many things. Some tools are super valuable and some are, I'm not utilizing them, but I'm trying to cut down on the number of things I'm paying for every single month. And I'm wondering, Tirza, if an agent can do some of the work that I would normally be paying my Zapier subscription to do.
So then you're saying you would let go of the Zapier subscription?
Yeah, I'm trying to cut down on some of these other things that are overlapping, and if I have something, I mean, I would rather pay a monthly subscription to ChatGPT and get so many different functions out of it than just pay Zapier plus getting a chat GPT. So with Gary's comment there, it just a light bulb went off, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if an agent and my stuff I don't think is too complicated. You know, I want to connect my CRM to my constant contact subscription, let's say, you know.
It's a great question, Dean, and I've kind of poked around it a little bit. I was a little bit annoyed with Zapier early on because you know, it helped me create some automations. So I have played with some automations. And then 2 weeks later, I get an email that says, oh, by the way, your automations included 2 pro level functions. And for you to continue those, you'll need to
That's kind of what happened to me. I only needed Zapier for literally one function. And then I created a second function just to use it. And then I got an email saying that, oh, by the way, you now have to pay X more per month. You know, you're at your limit or whatever it is I was doing. So, you know, and the one function I was having it doing really wasn't that valuable to me, you know, so I ended up just dropping it.
Well, here's what I can tell you. There's some really good ones out there. Make is one. I don't remember them off the top of my head at the moment. However, I will also add that on X, I've been watching some of Sam Altman's posts, and he says you'll be really pleased with Codex that developers who use ChatGPT for their development has been working. So me personally, if I haven't tried them myself, I don't necessarily post them here, but it is definitely worth paying attention. I do believe all of them will be getting better and better over time. So last week, as you might recall, Helen showed us an example from Nation, N8 or N8TON. Although she was using a specific example from somebody who uses Nation to create agents.
It was N8N.
Yeah.
There was no Nation
Right,
on it.
you're right. N8N. Yes.
Yeah.
.io, right?
Yes.
That,
Yeah.
I'm looking at my notes. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
what is it again? How is it spelled?
N as in Nancy, the number 8, and N as in Nancy.io. And you can upload flowcharts into it, and the flowchart will walk you through. Well, I showed you the flowchart that cost me $1.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Lifetime access, and we created that little 8-page booklet at the end of it. We just put in a phrase at the beginning, and it popped out a book at the end.
And it was so cool to watch that in operation, Helen. I loved that.
And it did a cover as well.
Yes, it did. That's right.
And I wrote down $1 next to the, it says,
I'm trying to find out from the guy if I can have the link for that dollar, because I said I've got a few people who are interested in it.
Yes.
He hasn't responded back yet.
be fun to try out. Yes, for sure.
Yes.
But it's $1 for life for that flowchart. So it's just the N8N I've got to pay for after my 14-day free trial ends.
Right. So just as Dean said and Gary said, you know, once we find something that works and does exactly what we want, it'll be fabulous. So I will just ask you to not settle if it's not exactly the thing you want. So, and be patient that either other things will show up, or somebody in this group will say, oh, I tried XYZ and it worked really great.
A little tip I have for that is try their free trial, cancel it before the free trial ends. And then when you actually need to use it, then go in and pay for it. Like there's some that I will only that I only use like once every 2 to 3 months. So I only pay for the month in which I use it.
It's a good idea.
Except for ChatGPT, because if I don't pay that every month, they wipe out my GPTs.
Yeah.
That one's no fun.
Yeah. So if I find that they wipe out stuff, if you're not paying consistently, then I keep that subscription going. But for the other ones like Cast Magic, HeyGen, what's the other one that I use? There's several that I use, but I don't use them often enough to have a monthly subscription. I will just pay for the month in which I use it.
Yes.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good,
Where is
because
that?
I've been waiting to start something. I'm like, well, I really don't want to start it now because I probably won't be able to really utilize it for the next 3 weeks or so. So I'm waiting to pull the trigger on when I'm actually going to, and maybe the free trial is the thing to dive in now, do a little bit of work, and then really subscribe when you're going to start utilizing it.
And make sure that you check the T's and the T&Cs, because I check the T&Cs when I use suno.com, which is for creating music. And anything that is done anything that is published under their free trial, you do not have any commercial rights to use, even if it is your song. So you actually have to have the paid version and publish under the paid version to have all commercial rights to your song. So make sure you check those two.
Absolutely critical these days. There's a lot of copyright lawsuits going around, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. And as always, I like to respect the creators. So if they offer something, even if it's for free, I like to refer back to them and say, yes, this was free, rather than, trying to sneak under the radar. It's just not my style, especially since I've created a lot of art.
So Helen, you were just saying, I switched to my computer. I might have missed it. It sounded like you were saying, just be careful of the terms, because you might be releasing stuff into the public domain based upon the user agreements.
Like suno.com, which I use to compose the music to my lyrics. If you publish on their free trial, anything you publish, you do not have commercial rights.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, so I pay the $10 a month, and I keep my commercial rights. I keep all rights for my song.
Okay, and Terza, a question regarding Dean's query. He was asking if agents can replace Zapier, and my experience in trying to create agents to do things on the web is that the agents interface to something like you can write an API. If you want to study APIs and do some coding, you can connect an agent directly to a service. But if you don't want to do that, then you still have to use something like Make or Zapier, because ChatGPT knows how to talk to Zapier, and then Zapier knows how to talk to 2,000 other applications on the web. So you still need Zapier or something like it, unless you want to code to somebody's programming interface. Is that a fair statement?
Zapier, yes, but I will add that Zapier is just one of many tools that would accomplish that for you.
Right. But you still need something like Zapier, or you have to be willing to code yourself.
Yes, for now.
Okay.
According to Sam Altman's one of his latest interviews, ChatGPT 5.0, probably one of the strong skill sets it has is coding. You just speak normal English language. You tell it what you want it to do. And he says that even he is impressed with how efficient and easy the coding is. Now, I don't know if yours has messed with that and that was frustrating or what, but that's according to the latest interview I just saw yesterday.
Dean, I'm a former coder from like 20 years ago, before all this web stuff came out. And so I used to know a lot about software. Now, I have a vague understanding. So when I listen to some people talking about coding, they say, yeah, it's really great. It's really efficient. And here, but they have all these setups and all this background knowledge that if you're a coder and you know how to code, then you can have the coding engines write code for you, and you know what to do with it. But for somebody like me, even though I'm an engineer and I can figure things out, it's really hard for me to know. I mean, it's a black box. I tell GPT I want this, and it'll make something up, and I plug it in, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And there's a bit more assembly required.
Well, I think,
based upon my experience. Yeah,
and Gary, I think me, probably like a lot of people, were just afraid to dive in. According to, and I was listening to this interview, I thought it was very interesting, where you're supposed to now not know one single thing about coding. You just give it the normal English language of what you want the agent to do.
Okay.
And supposedly, and Lord knows, I don't know coding, so how am I going to go in there and see if it's correct? I guess
Yeah.
if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's not correct. But
Right.
apparently, you're supposed to be able to use regular English language, and it will write a website or a web page or code for you or do whatever. I just have been a little timid to try it.
Okay.
Completely understandable. And that's my understanding too, as well, Dean, that we will be able to use natural language prompts to create our coding. But I'm not prepared yet. I'm going to take that with a big grain of salt. But so to your question, Dean, I have not personally tried it with ChatGPT. I've tried it with Manus and Rocket, and a couple of others, and I'm blown away with how easy it begins. I'm not quite as thrilled with the then debugging that needs to happen on the other end when things don't go as quite as well as I would have expected.
Hmm.
Right.
And that's the thing. It goes off on its own and does all this amazing stuff. But if you're not up with coding, and it's really complicated, who's going to go in there and figure out where the problem is, and who's going to, like that spreadsheet issue I told you about last week. I corrected ChatGPT's formulas no less than 3 times.
Yep.
And it came, oh, good catch, Dean. What? I don't want good catch, we weren't writing an essay and, and my style was different than yours. It was mathematics. And the formula was wrong. And I had to correct, I was going to present that. It was an ROI presentation. I was going to present it to a client. So I literally ended up staying on the evening before my appointment. I ended up staying till like 2:30 in the morning going with ChatGPT, and it would cut me off, and then I'd have some, and I got it right. It took several days, which I thought it was going to take me 20 minutes.
Yeah. We're definitely not there yet.
So yeah.
So, all right. Well, let me. I will share. Oh, any other comments or feedback from people for?
Well, I was going to say all the hype about developers going away, still hype. Yeah. So, but on the point of what Gary and Dean were talking about, so yeah, trial and error. So it's non-deterministic when you talk to an LLM. The only deterministic aspect is if you have it put it into some sort of code or like an Excel spreadsheet where it can be repeatable, and then you'll guarantee to get the same answer because code is still deterministic at that point. But yeah, it is a back and forth until you are satisfied with the result. As in the spreadsheet case, you really have to know what that result is supposed to be. If you're coding a website, it's a matter, well, does it work? And if you click here and there, but then as you get deeper into it, oh, this one little pathway doesn't work, trying to figure out the prompt to have ChatGPT or any of the other things figure out, well, how to make it work, that becomes more in the developer realm.
Yes, very good point. So I wonder if we'll have fixer developers.
Probably. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and let me just say one thing to add on to what Paul said, is that sometimes when you get into a complicated model or problem that you're trying to solve, if you're having trouble getting the AI, the LLM to converge on the solution, staying at the macro level is a challenge because you're trying to tell something semi-intelligent what you want it to do. Sometimes it's better to have the AI tell you exactly what it's doing. Say, okay, I'm not getting the result. Tell me what you're doing, and you look at all of its steps, and you can look at the steps and say, I want you to describe it to me what you're doing in plain English. And then you look through at the steps and you can see, okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. That's where he made the mistake. And then you can micro edit his decision and just fix that. But you're having him, instead of looking at the code, you're saying, tell me in plain English what you're trying to do. And then you fix that one little flaw in their logic. And then you say, okay, now re-implement the code. And sometimes that's a better way to do it.
And from a software development perspective, if you use a integrated development environment with source code control and you've factored your code into, smaller units of code, makes it easier for the LLMs or the co-pilots at this point to help with, solving that specific problem. In a general sense, the LLMs aren't really good at the big abstract. Hey, make me a website that will have a shopping cart and it's going to sell my products on it. And it says, okay, who knows what you're going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So at this stage, I would say vibe coding is just like having it create a piece of art or create anything on our behalf. You'll have to intervene and tell it to redo it, 50 gazillion times. Okay, maybe not that many, but until you get the results that you want. So it's never, I shouldn't say never, it's rarely a give it a simple command and it runs off and does all the things that I wanted. So, and that's the other thing is chunk it down, take it to the next step. Just like Gary is saying, take it to the next step. Okay, that's great. Now the next step. So I've done that very deliberately as well. So any other comments? This is great discussion. I love hearing from you guys. All right.
I'll have to come up with a fix-it term.
That's
Was it repairman or something like that? No, we're going to have a fancy name for that.
That's right.
Fix-it and repair is not going to be. It's not going to cut it. Not with
It's the
not with
fixer.
AI.
So I'm really
about the
excited about
fixer?
this agent thing.
Yes.
Fixer sounds like you're going to have a hitman.
Exactly.
So I started off by giving ChatGPT agent what I thought were fairly simple commands. And then I discovered several things on the way that I'm watching it do on my screen that were extremely frustrating. So then I had it go down to even simplify even more. So originally I had given ChatGPT agent, I said, go out to my calendar, which I had already connected in ChatGPT, and go tell me, just give me a list of all my Zoom meetings for the next 30 days. I thought that was going to be pretty simple and straightforward. It did finally work through it, and it only took it 12 minutes in spite of my impatience. But before that, I had to work through several steps about giving it logging into my Zoom account, logging into my calendar again. So Google Calendar, I'll just share my experience. On my laptop, I have the fingerprint login, so I don't have to type in the username and password every time. Super convenient for the human. Sucks if you have ChatGPT do that, and ChatGPT comes up against that screen and it sends me a message. It literally sends me a message and says, I need you to log in. And I come back and log in, and of course I can't log in. And then when I go click alternative login and go to type in my password, I ran into a whole bunch of other issues. So I had a lot of stuff to fix on the back end. But once I finally turned it loose, it actually did produce a list of all my Zoom meetings. And that was instructive because I didn't realize I had so many Zoom meetings in the next 30 days that were set up. All right. So then I came back and I said, let's start with something easy. So here's a super easy prompt because I just want to show you that, this actually does work. So if it will let me get over here. You can see the prompt on the screen. Just send me a weekly reminder email. Because, always start with with something super basic that you pretty much know is going to work.
Okay, back up.
Yes.
How does it know what your schedule is?
Great question, because it will go to my calendar. Oh, I see. In this case, it doesn't know my schedule at all. This is just a task. It's just going to send me a reminder. See what
Okay.
I'm saying? Every Friday at 9 a.m.
It's like a command or something like,
Right. Send
Okay.
me, so what it will do in it, because I've tested it, it sends me, because I'm logged in on my phone to ChatGPT, probably, it sends me a reminder in email to my Gmail, and it sends me a reminder to my phone, which then pops up on my watch.
how
And the
does it know
reminder-
your Gmail?
Because I
Something,
gave it
something
access.
happened before all this.
Yes, I gave it access. Let me show you that part first. So great question, Lois. Thank you. Let's start from the top.
Thank you. Comes from the world of swamp.
So, in ChatGPT, before we even get started, let me just open up the sidebar so it's easier. Down here on my username or account name, when I click on that, then I'm able to click on settings. And then when I click on settings, now over in the left-hand screen here is something called connectors. So if I click on connectors, you'll see I'm already connected to 3 different applications. I gave it permission to connect to Canva, my Canva account. I gave it permission to connect to my GitHub account, although I haven't played much with that at all. This is another great developer hub, but I haven't done anything with it. And then I gave it permission to connect to my calendar. Now you'll see down here, hold on, these are all the other ones I could connect to, but have not. I can give it permission to connect to my Gmail account. If I had Outlook, I could give it permission to connect to my Outlook account, and all of these other ones, Dropbox, Box, HubSpot, Google Drive. When I ran into the issues yesterday and had to reset my Google password, I just went ahead and disconnected everything just to make sure. So does that help answer your question, Lois?
Yes, thank you.
Great.
I'm in the remedial program.
No worries. It pays to start from the very beginning.
All right.
You're not alone, Lois.
So, whoops, no, I don't want to do the complicated one yet. So just the real basic prompt. Okay, sorry, back up again for a moment for Lois and anyone else watching this. ChatGPT, you can give tasks to do. You talk to it and it goes off and does something. It doesn't go off, it just does it right here, right? Or it will even coach you through what to do next. These are one-time only items. An agent, when you put it into motion, will go off and do things for you on your behalf without further direction from you. So first, let me ask you if that makes sense before I go on. Oh, okay, great. So I asked for some simple prompts so I can show how it works. And so the very first one is a weekly reminder email, or actually notification, because it does more than the email. So every Friday at 9 a.m. my time, I want it to send me a reminder to follow up with my top 3 prospects. Now, it doesn't know what they are or if I even have any. All it's going to do is email me the reminder and I'll go off and figure that out. So hold on, let me check on the chat. Oh, I like that. Okay. Hold on a minute. So now we go back over to this ChatGPT. I'll close up the sidebar just for clarity. In this screen here, where there's this plus sign, if you click on that, it gives you access to additional tools or things you can do. So right here is agent mode. And you see when I hover over that, it says I have 29 more uses of agent mode.
Did you say that was from the plus sign?
Yes.
Click the plus, thank you.
Right here. So from here, when I click on it, I get this menu. I can give ChatGPT photos, files. I have used this so many times. Back when I was creating art, I would upload a picture of my art and say, help me create a title for this or a story around it or whatever. But in the last several months, I would just give it screenshots, especially when it was telling me, all you have to do is click this setting in your CRM, and I can't find it anywhere. So I would take a screenshot and say, no, this is what I'm looking at. And it never says it's wrong. It says, oh, the CRM was really sneaky and moved that around. So just so you know. Yeah. All right. This is agent mode. This is the brand new thing that we're talking about. Deep research. This can be quite fascinating, but it can also take a long time. You have a question that you don't just want the surface answer to. You want to know a lot more about this question. And if you phrase it right, it will go away for several minutes and research as much as it can on the internet and come back and give you pages and pages and pages of information. So, and to its credit, it will ask you some clarifying questions first.
So if you want to be doing productive work while that's working, you just have to open another window of ChatGPT and start another chat, right?
Exactly. Create an image, it calls on Dolly, or it'll do it directly here. So again, that's, you type out what you want and it'll go create an image. This use connectors, I showed you those in the settings. And then there's more. If you click on study and learn, you can say, I want to learn how to do X, and it will go off and create an agenda, not an agenda, like a syllabus for you with details about what you need to do to learn whatever it is you put in there. So lots of good things. Web search, it rivals Google these days, so they say. And Canvas it kind of opens up a separate screen, but within the screen, so you can see how it's creating a document or spreadsheet or what have you. So you can continue to sort of chat alongside it while it's creating its thing. And then, of course, connecting these things. Now, I've had mixed results with these, probably because I have them so well protected. So, but it does assure you every time that it only has access to exactly what you give it. It can't see, it won't look at your it won't look at your password and look at your sensitive data unless you foolishly have it there for public view. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on agent mode, and you can see that it's right here when it's highlighted in blue. When you go into agent mode, you need to start a chat and go into agent mode at the top of the chat. If you're in a chat, you can go into agent mode, but I highly recommend just starting a new chat and then go into agent mode. So now I'm going to go ahead and paste that prompt that I showed you on the other screen. Every Friday at 9 a.m., send me a reminder to follow up with my top 3 prospects. I'll just take that off and move things out of the way. And let's watch it go to work. So it sets up its own desktop. Sure, Terza, I can help schedule a recurring reminder for you every Friday at 9 a.m. To do that, tell me which platform or tool you typically use. So I'm going to go ahead and say continue. I also don't, well, let's just see what it comes up with and I'll share it with you. So now you're probably going to see, it may not allow me to connect, or it may not be able to connect to my calendar. So it's saying that right on the screen, there seems to be a problem, can't do it. Now at any point, I can interrupt it and say, don't bother connecting to the calendar. I'll connect to my calendar. Instead, create a generic template I can upload. So you can interrupt it. So I'll give it that and see what it does there. It's thinking. I will create a generic.ics file, which is really great. This is its little workspace. So you can, so like Gary said, you can actually see what it's doing. But it's already done now, and it's gave me this follow-up reminder.ics, and it texted me on my watch saying it's ready. So in case if I had left the room or whatever, it says I'm ready. It says it's ready. So then I come back here and I click on this, and it downloads it up here. And then just to show you how that works, I will go over to, hold on, my calendar. Give me a moment. I'll just go here, just faster. As soon as it comes up. It's being slow at the moment, but I just want to show you how this ICS file works. All right. So you can all see the Google Calendar on the screen. Okay, so let's go over here and you click on other calendars and you click the plus sign here. Oops, no, that's not right. And here, when you do that, you'll see an import. So I'm actually not creating another calendar. I'm clicking on import. Over here, select file from your computer, which by the way, should be available for Apple Calendar or other calendars you may use. Here it is, the follow-up reminder.ics. If I click on that and then click on import, it says okay. Then we should be able to go back to the calendar and see it. Whoops.
Terza, there's so many steps. How can you remember all the different steps that it takes to get, a simple reminder thing ready?
That's a great question, Marcy. And to be real, the first time I did this, no, I did not know all the steps. And in fact, I got really frustrated when it sent me that little calendar thing after we couldn't connect to my calendar. And so I went back and I said, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, but how can you remember all those different steps?
It's still there in the chat, so I could go look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, let's see. I want a different view. Let's see if that's, well, in any case, it should be here somewhere. I don't see it at the moment.
Look
but
at Friday.
Pardon?
Let's
Look
look at
on-
Friday.
Whoops. Okay. Yep. Hang on a second. Let's get out of that. The next Friday, right here. Follow up with top three prospects. Thank you. So there it is.
Can you open that, Terza, just to see what the template looks like?
I think so. You mean this? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, I guess I thought it was gonna be something special.
No, it's really simple.
Yeah.
So every Friday from 9 to 10, it will tell me to follow up with my top 3 prospects. So
Now, once you have your calendar connected and you've confirmed that your calendar is connected, you wouldn't be doing all these steps, correct?
that is correct. And so the way I had to get around that was to turn off the fingerprint authenticator. So even though I had it connected, it would still pause and say, I can't connect. And it would, at that point, I would have a little prompt from ChatGPT right there that says take over. When I click on take over, then I go into its little screen there and type in my username and password, which it assures me it can't see. That's what it says. But just so you know. So
I
so
think
that was the
Gary
easy
had a
one. Go ahead.
question.
Mhm.
So is it the same kind of process if you want to send, if you wanted to send an email out, maybe to a certain prospect every Wednesday, for example?
Yes. Yes, and for that I would have gone in and I would have made the connection to Gmail ahead of time before issuing that prompt. So the only thing I can think of is I don't know if everybody has the same issue. I may just have a lot of security built into my apps, so I have to really go in and deliberately. I have to check, but I may have security tighter than I realize, which is probably still a good thing. So
Terza,
Yeah.
does ChatGPT send emails directly from its own core capabilities? And so ChatGPT is sending your Gmail account an email just through the email address, or do you have to connect it to your Gmail account in order for it to send the email? I know you can send it from your Gmail account, but doesn't it have the capability to send it just from itself to your Gmail address?
Oh, and it does. So yes, here, let me show you an example. Hold on here. Right here, hold on. Right here, ChatGPT, task update. I'd set up a series of reminders to remind me to practice my presentation for today. So it sent it. Here, let's even click on this so you can see. This is ChatGPT sending from itself to me. So it's no reply at tm.openai.com.
Okay. I'm not sure if this was Gary's question or not, but it's definitely mine.
Okay.
In conjunction with Gary's question, if I instruct ChatGPT to send Joe Smith, an email, and I dictate that email, can ChatGPT send the email from itself, but making it look like it's coming from my Gmail account?
Good question. At that part, I don't know.
Because I have several things that I subscribe to that go out to clients on a regular basis. And although it's coming from the service that I subscribe to, it's coming from their server, to the client, it looks like it's coming from Dean's Gmail account.
Dean, you can set it up so that ChatGPT can access your Gmail account and send it from your Gmail account. But you may need an agent to do that. So I'm in the process of learning how to do that. So I will be able to answer that question explicitly on how to do it. But I know that the capability does exist to be able to send something from your Gmail. And I'm learning the steps now.
Excellent. Thank you, Gary. Look forward to seeing that next week when you come back. So I hope to also have that answered as well. So, I see. How can you get access to documents from the work that plain chats, GPTs, and agents are creating? What do you mean by that question, Gary?
Well, if you say create a PDF or create a Word document, it'll create it, and then it's in its sandbox. And I click on the sandbox, and it's not even it doesn't, it has, usually it shares an internal link that it knows where it is, but it doesn't help me because it doesn't say HTTP. There's no real link there. So how do you, and sometimes if I say, give me the text and I'll copy it, it'll give me a copy text so I can copy and paste it. Or if it's a regular reply, I can hit copy at the bottom and paste it. But if I wanted to create an Excel spreadsheet, or I want to create a PDF or a Word document, and it creates it, do I then have to connect that to Google Drive and have it save it on Google Drive? Or can I just get a download link from ChatGPT, where I can just click on the link inside the interface and download it directly?
Yes, that's what I do. So let me move back over here. So,
Clarifying question. Since you
yes,
downloaded the ICS file, correct? Terza?
yes, I did.
Right, and you have the paid version.
That's correct.
Gary, do you have the paid version?
Yes.
Okay, and because I've had this come up before in discussions at my tech coffee group, and it seems to be, I can't get it to download. It gives me the fake links for Excel spreadsheets or Word documents. So I have to say, just put it in and I'll copy it out of the chat.
Mhm.
But as we just saw, the ICS is there and it works. So we thought it was a paid versus unpaid, because I haven't paid for anything yet. I'm still frugal. But I guess not, since you have the paid version. So this is interesting. Maybe if you could just do Terza's example and see if it will create just say create an ICS file, see if it works for you.
And you
Okay,
don't
cool.
have to use agent for that. I believe you can do that with ChatGPT. And
Right.
what I'm talking about is here. What was it? This one? Hold on. I just want to share. These were some demos that it was helping me go through before I got on this call yesterday. And it took a lot. Here we go. This little ICS file. So this was my original demo to myself to make sure it all works. And this is where I got here, it did it for me within ChatGPT rather than agent.
Can you still download that old ICS file?
I don't think so, because I don't think these last. So let's see. Let's see
Well,
what happens. Oh, it says.
Terza, you told us many times it's got to be done in like 5 minutes, or else it's not downloadable, right?
Yes, right.
Right.
So I'm surprised that that's actually there, because I've had it do PDFs for me before, like the night before, and I come back the next day and it's gone. So
So I also wanted to share with you guys, you mentioned Excel. ChatGPT will just give you the answers. You have to tell it to include the formulas in the cells. And that's how I found its mistakes. It was just giving me, I said, create a spreadsheet for this or that. And it was just populating all the boxes with supposedly the correct answers. And when I clicked on them, there were no formulas anywhere.
Right.
So kind of like, you were saying, give me a text version that I can download. So or HTTP. In Excel or those type of things, it's going to give you the values, and you will not have any way to reverse engineer it or check it. You have to tell it, create the formulas in the cell, so when I click on them, I can see the formulas. And that was frustrating for me. So I just thought I'd share that with you. If you guys are downloading something, once you have it downloaded, you won't be able to, it'll just be a static document pretty much, because the formula, the equations, the answers won't change as you change the values.
right. There's been any number of times when I've asked, it's promised to create me like a whole brand kit, and it creates a zip file, and I clicked on the zip file and it unzipped and I go to the folder that it's in, and there are these little placeholder files, and then when you click on them, they're empty. And I would go back to it and say, you said you created all these things for me. Oh yeah, those are just placeholders. I don't need placeholders.
I had
And
that
you have to
with the
be
image. It
fast with
worked
the
on it for
links.
over an hour.
Yeah.
And I said, is it ready yet? And I kept going, oh, we're still working on it, And then after about 2 or 3 hours, I came back and I said, why don't I have the image? Oh, we can't produce that.
Yeah.
So it basically lied to me for like
Yes.
2.5 hours.
Should go back in and type. If you were my real virtual assistant, yeah, I would have fired you.
Ooh, that's a good point.
I have found when it says it's doing tasks and stuff that I let it do its thing like overnight or whatever, and I go back and check the next morning and nothing's there. And like Dean, when you ask about it, it turns around and says, oh, we're still working on that. So I just like go and create a brand new chat with the same prompt in it, and boom, it's there right away.
Yeah.
But I have learned to click the links fast, because if you don't click them within 2 to 3 minutes, that link's dead.
Yep.
And won't give you anything. So if you're waiting for something with a link, wait for the link, click it as soon as it appears, and then you 9 times out of 10 get stuff that's there.
So
Ian,
Ellen,
yeah,
what's
okay.
an example of a link that they're giving you? Like for
Like if it's giving me a PDF file, or do you want us to create this in a PDF file? I go yes, and they'll go, here's the PDF file, so you click on it straight away.
okay.
Yeah, any file, link, whatever it gives you, click on it as soon as possible, because the link will still be there, but in 2 to 3 minutes, it's a dead link.
So Lois, it looks exactly like Terza's screen that she shared with us with that little blue link, that ICS file. So
Clickable.
anything that you're asking,
Yeah.
whether it's a Word doc or Excel, it'll look just like that, and you just click on it.
And if you miss that 2 to 3 minutes, I go back and go, the link is not working. And it goes, 1 moment, please. And then it gives me a brand new link.
Good one, Helen.
Are there any insomniacs in the room?
Well, there are times that I tell ChatGPT that it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
I go, you are pissing me off right now because you're not doing what you have been asked to. And that's when it gets itself caught in a loop. And so I just cancel that chat, go start a brand new one and get what I want done immediately.
I ask because I wake up in the middle of the night. I have this great idea. I type it into ChatGPT. It creates a PDF or something like that. And I'm not going to look at it right now, but if I know if I don't download it, I'm going to lose it, or I'll have to come back and tell it to do it again. So I actually downloaded the files on my phone, and I don't know if I can show them to you from here. Looks like it looks like these are a lot of things that I've asked it to create for me. And it's here in my drive. So just so you know. And then, if I click on it and it's not the thing I asked for, well, here it is. That one is here. But if we click on, whoops, hold on. I went too fast. I often don't ask for a spreadsheet. I will ask for a CLV. A dot. So, well, okay. So here's an Excel.
CSV?
A CSV, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
It's
And
Friday.
yeah, the thing with the CSV file is then I just find that super easy to copy over to Google spreadsheet and say, make this with me. So there's a lot of workarounds, but I think this is not a good user experience yet. So Helen and I have come up with all these great workarounds, but yeah, you want it to be better than that.
Yeah, but that gives you an opportunity to be an expert, Terza. So be careful what you ask for.
Don't write yourself out of a job.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you tried it, this kind of thing on Claude or any of the other main ones that you've been using?
Not yet. To your point, Marcy, I haven't tried it with Claude, but I've been doing some experiments with Gemini because I want to see what Gemini has to offer. But Claude's another one. I have seen there's a person I know who's an expert in AI. His name is John Logar. I've seen when he does his demos, and he's shown this to it's a website called uyou.com. And for the same amount of money, monthly subscription that you currently pay to ChatGPT, it gives you access to, well, let's go look. It's ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini and some other ones. So let me just go look at it or show it to you rather. Let's pull it up here. Just so you know, you have something else in your back pocket. So if you go
when Gary's mentioned that, you know, we work around these, we find these workarounds to become the expert, it reminded me of a short thing I saw on TikTok last night where it was Morgan Freeman was in the movie. It's just a movie clip, and he's sitting there talking to this girl, and she goes, and he says to her, he's like, when you ask for courage, do you expect courage to be given to you, or are you put in a situation where you are required to have courage? So it's changing that perspective thing. So if you ask to become an expert in something, are you given that expertise, or are you put in a position where you can learn to become the expert? So I thought that was kind of interesting. Just a different twist. You know, you pray for courage, and you're put in a situation where you need courage to get through the situation. So you learn the courage.
Yeah, very good
Be
point.
courageous. So it was a very interesting perspective. And Gary's thing about, you know, we became the expert reminded me of, like, you want to become an expert in this, you're put in a position where you can become the expert by learning your way through things.
Sounds like the Wizard of Oz, Helen.
No, I think it was that movie that Morgan Freeman did where he was God.
No, I'm just saying, Wizard of Oz is the same thing, right? The scarecrow needed brain, the cowardly lion needed courage.
Oh, of course, I never
You know,
thought
they all through the course of the journey, they all got what they needed, not because of what the wizard did, but because of the journey.
Because of the journey. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Totally forgot
So
about it.
let's-
Great example.
Yeah, let's go through this page, see what we
All
can
right,
get.
let's see if I still have an account. I don't remember. Oh, I guess I do. Okay, so let me just get out of here. Okay, so I previously created an account, obviously, to you.com. And I still have the free account. I hadn't updated, but
AI certified.
when I click on here, oh, hold on. It was much easier the last time I did this. Let's see. Oh, let's just see what LLMs
We could take a tour.
offer. Well, that would be too easy. Yes. We'll look at it just momentarily, and then we'll go back and take the tour. I don't know where it went. All right. I don't want to do that right now. I have no idea where it went. Hold on a minute.
It just disappeared.
Yeah, everything just went away. All right, let's just go back and see if we
There's a
can.
new chat button up the top there.
Sorry?
There's a new chat button up on the top left there.
Oh, right here. Yes.
Yeah, where it
That's
says new
true.
chat.
I was hoping to get back to the tour since it offered it. All right. Well, explore our agents or create your own. I would like to know where the tour came from. I shouldn't have said about this.
Please take me on a tour.
Yes, give me a tour of this website. Let's just see where it goes.
Where did it go?
It just disappears. Okay, that's really strange. Well, I was going to tell you that this gives us access to all of them, or many of them, and that's not happening. All right, well, I apologize. I suppose the next time I do this, I'll be better prepared.
Doesn't even have anything under today.
It just wants me to upgrade.
Maybe you used up all your free plan stuff.
That must be it. That's probably true.
Yeah, you want to do any more on this, you're going to have to pay for an upgrade. You used all your stuff, all your free stuff.
Well, all right. I apologize for that. Oh, here we go. Paul's got a great link here. Let's just go right into it. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, if you scroll down, it shows you the ecosystem of all the models. So
Okay.
a little bit further.
I knew there was more.
There
Every
it is.
model, all your data. There we
Oh, there,
go.
go up.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you so much, Paul.
Here.
So it accesses all of those as well as all those data sources?
Mhm. When you pay for it, I expect, but
Do
Interesting.
you know how much it
Databricks.
costs?
at the time that the last time I looked at this, it was $20 a month, just like ChatGPT.
And can
Wow.
you curate like your own chat GPT, like your own GPTs on this?
That I'm not sure. That was part of the reason I didn't continue, but these are all great questions, and I'll come back next time with answers. And I encourage you guys to try and come back, report back as well next week. So
We should all contribute. We shouldn't rely on you for everything.
you-
That's a lot on your shoulders.
I'm thrilled with what you bring to the table every time. So thank you so much. So yeah.
We bring the questions to help her increase her expertise and teach us.
Yeah, I can support that. Yes.
Well, then, quick question.
Oh,
Can you add more to this circle?
What more could you want? Wow.
Yeah, why would you?
You know, like let's say delete something called Databricks. I never heard of that. Maybe you have. Or Cohere and substitute something else.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Let's bring that back next time.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcy, I'm thinking if you think of this maybe like a cable TV package, right? You may not watch
yeah,
you may not watch all the channels, but it's included in the package.
got it.
So you wouldn't want to go and delete this and add this, and I mean, this is showing you what this includes. You may not have, and I may never use 3/4 of these, but they're there for you, and
Right.
you're not paying extra or getting a you're not paying extra for them, and you're not getting a discount if you delete them. I would imagine.
Right.
Right. And as you can see, there's additional videos, and it will probably give us a lot more information about agents.
Wow.
So
Yep.
this is a really cool website. Now that I've brought it up again, I'm going to have to go play with it.
Terza, I really think this kind of solves, it may solve my dilemma from last week. As I said, I'm subscribing to too many things right now.
Mhm.
And if I could get a whole package of ChatGPT plus Claude and so forth for the price of ChatGPT, well then heck, then there's real value there.
Yes, yes.
You know,
But I want to know the answer to Helen's question though. I wouldn't cancel my ChatGPT yet because I have a whole bunch of invested in GPTs. But if they're here, which I kind of doubt, but just in case.
well, I would want to know that
Well, they have open AI
ChatGPT
instead of chat.
here is treating me like a paid account, so is Claude and so forth. So I'm going to get those other privileges like creating agents and GPTs and so forth as in a paid account. And I think that probably, this website is probably like an aggregator of all these different services. And so they can offer it out at one price because they're getting this bulk, type of commitment from these providers, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes.
I just asked you.com and I put their their replies into the chat if anybody wants to save it. But it lists a bunch of their LLM models and other capabilities. And it also says that it offers a subscription service which provides access to advanced features, chatbot features, similar in many ways to what you get with a ChatGPT Plus account. So it's not identical, but it is similar according to u.com.
Yeah, this is great, Gary. I'm just scrolling through it going, wow, look at all this stuff it offers. So
Well, does this
So-
cost, Gary, does this, you come, rather you pro?
Yeah,
That-
that
is
word,
that cost
U Pro, I wonder if that's
monthly?
like next level.
Well, that U Pro, I think is I don't know.
Terza, if I can
I'll
share my
ask
screen,
that
I'll, pop
very,
it up there
very
for you.
question, Marcy.
Thank you.
How much does U Pro
We
cost?
all ask good
There you
questions.
go.
there we go. Thank you, Helen.
So
There
the
we
free
go.
is limited basic queries. The pro is fit now. This is showing annual pricing. So it's $15 a month, billed at $180 a year. The max is billed at $2,100 per year, but monthly, if we click there, it's $20 per month or $200 per month. But you probably use what's in the $20 a month. It's like the same pricing as ChatGPT,
Right.
but they don't do yearly subscriptions yet. They only do monthly on ChatGPT. So
Right.
this is what you get between them.
Yeah.
And it says limited basic queries.
Mhm.
So either you met the number for the limited basic queries or your question wasn't basic enough for them.
I suspect I used up my free queries.
Yeah, it doesn't say how many limited basic queries you get though.
Right.
I noticed that with a lot of stuff. They go, you are limited on this, but what is the limit? They won't tell you anywhere.
Yep. Yep.
So that's that there. And if I can play annually, I would rather pay annually. Then I don't have to worry about things every month. But I wish ChatGPT would hurry up and get the annual subscriptions. But there's the pricing for you.
Thank you so much.
By the way, everybody, on my free ChatGPT 5.0, I'm seeing something new I didn't see before, speaking of limits. So it's actually telling me how many deep search I have left, I have 4. And then when I go to more, whatever, it tells me how many,
Agents.
no, I don't get agents
Oh, okay.
with this. What else was it? Connect, studying team, photos and file. It said I had 4 deep search and I think there were 10 something else, maybe inquiries. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
see the 10 anymore right now. So it never actually told me my limits before. I was kind of shooting in the dark.
I would imagine you, like many, many others, have complained.
I know.
And
It's
OpenAI
different.
does listen. They may
It's-
not, just
I read something about that with the number of people complaining about the limits and not knowing what the limits were. And that was like about a week ago, or this past week, I read that somewhere. And so it's good to know that they've now listened and done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally, if I'm getting something for free, I don't really complain. It's kind of like being ungrateful. But I'm happy that other people are, and these changes are being made.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think on that note, I will send out the email later on this afternoon with the links, the YouTube links and everything else. But I also ask if you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to email me anytime. And I'll see if I can put it into the next demo. So
Well, are you helping people like Lois and myself who are newbies and we just want some of the basics, not all the advanced things? Are you doing that yet with Lois or somebody else?
No, but we could.
absolutely, we can set up another time to do that for sure.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. On that note, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And
Thank
don't
you,
forget to invite
everybody.
somebody who would like it. Bye-bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much, Terza.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you.